Hi guys, this is Debbie with Debbie J's Crafting Corner, and I am so excited. I have been wanting to play with these ever since I got them in over a month ago. If you remember, back around Christmas, there was the 3D shopping cart. And I got so excited about that one and made a few cards with it. It was fantastic, and that included this bit of the set, okay? Well, they decided to come out with Add to Cart 2 TOO collection, and that includes a shopping cart that is the opposite direction. Awesomeness. We've got the In the Garden set, which has got all these fun different tools for using in your garden. We've got Shopping Run, which has got everything that you'd find at department stores or boxed, whatever kind of stores you want to call them, which includes milk and bread and headphones and pillows and purses and plants and even a basketball. I think that is super, super fun. Then we've got Plant It Here, which is again more plants, basically more things to put out in your yard. Like we've got a fun flamingo over here, we've got a watering can and a planter and even some wellies boots. So that is super awesome. Also, sometime between then and now, I also went ahead and got some of the shopping bags, and I picked up, because I needed it. Where did I put it? Here we go. Stamp set to go with all of this, which is the shopping bag sentiments. Now, I think that there are some additional things that are in the shopping cart or add to cart collections, but I've got a bunch of stuff now to play with. And so I'm going to go ahead and get a bunch of things die cut, and then I'm probably going to cut out more than I need for a couple of cards, so I will have extra that I can add to other cards in the future, or I may just go crazy and make a bunch of cards. Anyhow, I'm going to get busy with some die cutting, and I will be right back. Okay, I think I kind of went a little bit overboard. I've got way more stuff than I'm going to need for this. And I came across the ones that I had my leftovers from when I was making cards around Christmas. So I'm going to go ahead and start assembling some of the bits and figure out what I want to put on a couple of cards. This is probably going to be a two-part video, but I'm going to try to squeeze it all in into one. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to start off with my little flamingo. I decided to cut out two of those, and there is a separate die that cuts out the nose and the rest of the face, so that's why I've got these little pieces here, and I've got my art glitter glue. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little face and the beak on. There are embossed lines on here too, so I should know where that goes. And okay. I was thinking the pointy piece was to be up higher, and it's not. That is the tip of his little nose. Okay, so there's the little black piece for that one, and then I've got this other piece that I cut out of white, and that goes and kind of goes up his face and over his little eye. And then we've got his legs. And this is a store flamingo. It's not a real flamingo, so that's fine. So if it doesn't look realistic, you know what? That is perfectly fine. Of course, you could, if you wanted to, go ahead and do some ink blending and coloring on it so it looked a little more realistic before it goes into your yard, right? Okay, and then we've got this little black stake to stick him down into the yard. And you could have done that one out of silver, because these are usually made out of metal, but I just went with black. Okay, so I'm going to just stick it there, and now he's ready to go into my little shopping cart. Okay, so next I'm going to add my pole to the back of my rake, because you can't rake by just having the green part, right? And I was thinking about doing this in orange, but I didn't know where my orange was, so green will have to do. So that's all that's needed to put that one together. Also got a little hat with a scarf on there, so you've got your little hat for when you're working out in your yard. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back of that and put that one in place. So mostly all of these little pieces, they have got multiple pieces so that you can do a little bit of paper piecing and then everything will go together perfect on your little card and fit into your cart. And I'm choosing not to actually do any coloring on any of these. You could definitely color all of these up, and that would be fabulous. Okay, so I've got a couple of pots and some plants to go in there, and I haven't decided which of these I'm going to use or how much. I really like this one. This one I believe is a Monstera because I've got some in my yard, and that I think will go great in there. But when I tried to double it up with a second one, it didn't really look right, so I'm going to put this one in there. And this is neat too. The little pot has got a slit in there, so you can just slide the tip in, and that'll be perfect. And I can use the Monstera. I can use this other one. I don't know what this one's called, but it's a different plant. And usually when you buy your plants from, like, say, Home Depot or Lowe's or Target, they don't have, I do want to use one of those. I like that dark green one. I think what I'm going to go with is these guys. Yes, I have one more. I've also got this one that can be a bucket or a planter, like for like outside. It's in more of the outdoor set, and these are the indoor set. So I wonder, I think I'm going to turn one of these backwards and have the other one frontwards, and that may look kind of cool as a plant. I think that'll be good. So all I need to do now is just adhere them to their little buckets. So here is one of my shopping carts, and I do have all of the extra stuff to go on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble the carts real quick, and then I can decide how I'm going to put these together on a couple of cards and what sentiments I'm going to use and all that good stuff. Sometimes having too much choice is not a good thing. So just like the ones we had before, we've got this piece here that adheres to the bottom of the card. You can do this one as a 3D. I'm choosing this time to just go with flat on the card. If you want to see how I did it with it being 3D, I will definitely be linking those videos down below. Okay, this I cut out of that wonderful mirror cardstock from Spellbinders, but because I did that, it sometimes doesn't really want to stick. So that's going to have to sit there for a minute. And while that one is doing its adhering thing, I can start the second one. So I'll go ahead and assemble both of these at the same time. So put a little bit of glue down. And adhere my little shopping cart. And I do have others. Okay, these, I'm not actually sure why they are cut that, they are done, oh, I think it was from the back. I don't know. Anyway, I do have right facing and left facing, and I love these guys. They are just so super cool. So while I was looking at this, I was thinking, why are my carts facing the wrong way? And the right thing is, I've got everything in I've basically got everything all together in one area that includes both the shopping carts, and I used the wrong one. So there is one die that cuts it so that the rounded edges make it so it goes this direction. There's another one that goes the opposite direction. So depending on which direction you want your shopping cart to be on your cart, or if you wanted to make multiples, however you want to do it, is which set you would use. Also means you can cut out more than one at a time, and I think that is super, super cool. So now I'm going to go ahead and put my my handle on the cart, and that goes here. So we've got that. That looks awesome. Let that sit a little bit so it can dry while I do this one. And next I need my little wheels, so I kept the silver circles because what I needed was the little silver piece for in the middle, because that's how I want this one to look. You can do these out of multiple colors. The die cuts out the circle and, well, the ring and the circle at the same time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my silver, I'm going to go ahead and put that on first. And those are going to go right here, and then I can put my, then I can put the ring on afterwards after it's had a chance to dry. Okay, and then while this one is drying, let me move it out of the way, I can go ahead and put my little tires on here and add a couple of additional little pieces that go on there. And I've got these little handles here, so I've got a handle to go up here on again some more of that silver mirror cardstock. And this would be where you're holding on to the cart. Okay, and then this little piece is the little plastic or rubber that they put down at the end. So I'll go ahead and adhere that to my little cart too. And then I gotta let this stuff dry. So for my background, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of these panels that I made, I don't know, probably 6 months ago, using some stamping foam and an embossing folder. I think that one was, I believe that was an evergreen one from Spellbinders. And I'm going to go ahead and start adding my little plants and flamingos into this cart. And I think that'll look pretty cool. Don't want to fill it up too full. I mean, the cart can only hold so much. So I'm going to start with the one I want to show in the front and then adhere that one down. And just kind of layer it up inside the cart from the back. Since I'm having this one flat, I'm going to have to just layer it. There are some dies to make it so that it can be a 1/4 inch thick, or actually have a 1/4 inch opening so it's easier to stuff stuff in there, but I'm just going to go with the flat version this time. I'm going to use a dot runner adhesive on the back of my cart, and that's going to add little dots of adhesive to all of the little slots there. Then when I add my cart, my items that are going to be in the cart, they will stick to the cart. So I think I want this one right about here. So that'll be good. At this point I will need to put adhesive on the back of this container because it's not going to be touching as much of the grid of the basket. So I'll put that one there, I think. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Then I can start putting my flamingos in. And have it up high enough. There we go. That should work. Okay, and then the other one, because I had those dots still, it also adhered pretty well. Okay, so I think that is going to be, that is actually hilarious. Okay, this flamingo has to tilt backwards, I think, because his nose keeps on trying to get out of the cart. There we go. Let's see how that does. Okay, so that is how my full cart is going to be. I think I've got room for the boot behind everything, so I'm going to adhere that one down, and it's going to overlap some of my flamingo legs. And this time it does need to be completely inside the cart. There we go. So this is a pretty full cart. They definitely did do some shopping there. Okay, so next I'm going to be adhering that down. I think I'm going to adhere the panel down first, and to do that I'm going to use some foam tape because I want to have a little dimension, even though I don't want a ton. Also, when I was doing the panels with the Simon Hurley stamping foam, a lot of those got a bit warped. This one's not bad, but it does have a little bit of warpage, and the foam is going to help it to stick well and take care of some of that warping. And the way that I trimmed it, I gave it about a little more than 1/4 inch border around it. So let me just get that centered. So again, just testing, making sure. Okay, and now I'm going to again use my dot liner all over the back. And that one I just pulled off, and I'm going to have to put him back on. And now I'm going to also use some liquid adhesive for this too, because I don't think I got the dot adhesive around everything, especially not when I wound up tearing my little plant. Did not want to tear my plant. Okay. think that should probably be about enough glue. Let me get this positioned. Okay, I'm going to go with it there, and then I'm going to glue this little guy to the top, because even when things rip off, if the rip mark isn't really obvious, then you can be able to put it back on. And this card is busy enough, and there's enough going on in the background that it's probably not going to be obvious that this part came off. Okay. And I also went ahead and had stamped out a lot of the sentiments and went ahead and fussy cut around this one. So I'm going to add this down here. I think I am going to add a little bit of foam tape to this one too. Actually, I wanted to go over some of the red. That'll be able to be seen a little bit better. You get a little bit more of my foam tape. And that is my first card. That is hilarious. I do see that I've got a little plant here that is gonna rip itself off, so I am going to go ahead and adhere those leaves down onto my flamingo so it doesn't fall off. Oh, I'm loving it. This is too cute. It definitely looks like you went to Target or to Lowe's or to Home Depot or something and got a bunch of stuff for your yard. That is too funny. Okay, so now I am making some cute little pillows. I mean, look at those. They are adorable. First adding the little tassel. This is something I learned after I did a couple of them. So we've got two with the tassel on top of the centerpiece, and this one I'm going to put with the tassel underneath. Gives it a little bit of a different look, and I think that's probably the way they were actually designed. It looks kind of cool that way. So just adding those little tassels to the corners. And then I'll add the centerpiece. And this I'm finding is a great way to use up some of those scraps that you never use. You've got just sitting there. Yeah, I've got a few different pillows that all can go in there. I think that's kind of cool. Next, I'm going to put together a couple of purses, and even if I don't use all of these right now, which I don't think I'm going to get them all to fit in that cart, I do have extras to go on additional projects later. So I've got this piece here I'm going to add onto my little purse, and then I've got a second strap I'm going to add on to give it a little contrast in color. And then I want to put this little piece of gold right there at that clasp. It looks pretty cute. And then I cut out, again, that same strap out of some gold. I just didn't cut the whole thing, so now I'm going to trim down the little extra excess so that I just have that little gold clasp part. It's going to be kind of an accent. And then I can glue those on. Okay, and that little purse is perfect too. Now I did the same kind of thing with these other ones, but I just decided this one has just got that gold as the handle, and this one has got that red foil. Next I need to start putting things together and decide what am I going to actually put in my cart and what background am I going to use. Okay, I think I've got kind of sort of a plan. So I'm going to start off with this panel that I did a while back, just messing around. But this is an embossing folder, and then I just used a little bit of, I don't even remember, I think it was just some gold ink on the front. And it's been months since that. So get out your old panels that you put together a while back and use those things. can definitely make some interesting, even if it's not your regular style, you can definitely make some interesting cards using the stuff in your stash. So now I've got that down, and to give me an idea of where to put things, I've got my little cart. We'll have it over enough so it's not hanging off. And I think what I'm going to start off with is this sentiment. Now I haven't finished trimming it down, so let me go ahead and do that. This one says, because I bought it on sale, I actually made money. I think what they need to do is come out with a set of dies that is all crafty supplies that'll fit in this cart. That's what I want to see. And Spellbinders, if you're listening, I think that would be so cool, because those are the kind of things that I do go shopping for. But let's say you're wanting to decorate your apartment or something and wanting to do something a little extra there. This would be totally cool. So I'm going to add that one there. And yes, I've got all different colors going on in this thing, because you know what? That's the way it is in the stores. There is a basic color scheme to the store itself, but not to everything that's in it. There are lots of different colors. So instead of doing like I did the last time, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere the cart down, but not the basket, so that I can adhere everything else in there, and let that dry. Okay, so we can have her brown purse, because I'm going to say, you know, she has been at work and this is her work purse. That can be hanging off the side on the outside. But let's put one of these red ones, these party time purses, on the inside. So she is buying some stuff so she can go have some fun with her friends. So I'm going to have that one down and kind of in the back, in the middle. And we can put, I'll go ahead and add this pretty pink pillow. And I'm not wanting it to cover up everything that I've got in there, so I'm going to try to do a little bit of tucking. So let's go ahead and add this hat. Okay. And I was wanting to add some more to it, but I think that this is basically done. I don't need a whole lot more in there. And the cart is pretty full, so let me go ahead and adhere the cart down the rest of the way. And because it was that metallic cardstock, looks like I was able to shift it a little bit more too. And this one is going to take a little bit to dry. Okay, while that is setting, let me go ahead and add some adhesive to the back of this cute little purse. And that'll go there, and then once that is dry, this little card will be done. So that is going to finish up this this card video for the day. I've got two really cute little add to cart shopping cart cards, completely different looks on each one of them, but there's so much that you can do with these. This is just too fun. So if you'd like to see the other videos where I use the add to cart dies, and of course all the other videos that I've made using Spellbinders products, be sure to check out this video and playlist over here. You guys have a wonderful day, and remember, if I can make it, you can too. Have a great day.